Every CEO's journey has its Everest. The moments when the path forward feels steep, uncertain, and alone. With Sherpa CEO coaching, you don't climb alone. Our experienced coaches are your guides, helping you break through barriers, sharpen your strategy, strengthen your leadership, and build a team that can carry you higher. With tailored one-on-one coaching, strategic planning, and real accountability, your summit is within reach. Sherpa CEO Coaching, your guide to confidence, clarity, and extraordinary business growth. Get coached and learn more at sherpaceo.com.
Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey with your host, Dave Westcott. The Entrepreneurial Journey is a weekly podcast that streams live every Tuesday at 9:15 a.m. Pacific on Dave's YouTube channel and LinkedIn profile. Now here's Dave with this week's episode.
Good morning and welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey. I'm your host, Dave Westcott, and I have with me this morning special guest, Ethan Hardinger, founder and CEO, Binz. Ethan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dave.
How are you doing today?
Good. Things are great.
I'm glad to hear it. Where are you located at?
So I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, I love Las Vegas.
The
Las
capital
Vegas,
of stinky
man.
trash bins.
Las Vegas, and that must be good for Binz. I love Vegas. Every time I go there, man, it seems like everything on that strip gets just more and more expensive. It almost becomes unbearable.
I know. And honestly, that's a big talk in the town right now because for locals, as we go down there, before we could go down and enjoy a buffet and enjoy the dining that was pretty affordable, and now it's like you've got to pay $50 to park, and you go in there and everything's just, the price is skyrocketing. And so for locals, it's kind of paining us as well.
Man, it's crazy. One of my favorite marathons to run is this half marathon. You run at night, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It starts at 5:00 in the afternoon. Beautiful run, absolutely fantastic. I love doing it. And the thing is, I skipped this year because I thought, the thing is, man, the hotel and all of the way that they ding you, and it's one of the most fun marathons, the rock and roll marathon. They got the music playing, they got the Vegas Nights out there, they got the Blue Man Group is out there, and it's this beautiful thing. But the problem is you go into Vegas, man, and you're just getting nickeled and dimed
At every corner. Yeah, you're not the only one who feels that way. We're hearing that right and left. And I mean, I truly believe we need to get back to offering that super affordable, all the stay and the food and the entertainment affordable, and then just make our money on the tables.
That's right. I'm a believer in this. I think they need to let the mob go back to running Vegas. If the mob's not running Vegas, just bring the mob back in. I love this idea of Steve Wynn. I want to see the guys in the sport jackets and the girls in the cocktail dresses, and let's get rid of all these shorts and all these different things like that. So anyways, I'm glad you're from Vegas. I love it. This town of stinky trash bins. The name of your business, Binz, residential trash cleaning company. How in the world do you get into trash bin cleaning?
It's not glamorous, but in a way it has been amazing because it's been innovative, and it's been like this new thing that that I found that was, hey, this is almost inventing a new industry, and it's been a wild ride doing it. Before this, I did real estate.
Okay.
And so, and real estate was great here in Las Vegas. It was a career that I was able to build up. I was doing valet parking, working down on the strip, that sort of thing. And I got into real estate, and it was amazing. It let me work for myself, be an entrepreneur, that sort of thing. And I really built up a successful career getting into luxury real estate, selling houses to professional boxers and rock bands and all sorts of exciting people that I was working with. Absolutely loved it. But I hit a point where it felt like, every single real estate transaction was a hunt a kill and drag it home and eat it. But then I was unemployed again,
Yeah.
until the next real estate transaction. And even though the money was great and I was cashing six-figure checks, I just didn't feel as secure financially as I was growing my family, and I have four kids now. And so I started looking for a side hustle, some sort of something else. It felt like if I'm a hunter out in the woods, that I'm going out and getting the big game and bringing it home. I was like, I need like a chicken that I could just carry along with me that'll lay a few eggs every once in a while. And so, fortunately, my brother let me stand up a pest control company with him. He was like,
Okay.
I'm gonna venture out on my own and do a pest control company. And I got to do that. And it was the funniest thing where I would be in the middle of a transaction, close a big deal, get a six-figure check, it'd be exciting. But when they signed up for pest control and they were like, hey, we're going to pay $80 a month for the rest of our life to get this pest control, and I didn't have to show up for it. They were just happy to have the service. There was a switch, and something clicked within me that was like, wow, residual residential service that I can build up. I can, control the business from afar and collect that residual income just seemed magical.
Huh.
So the deal with that was I was always going to sell the pest control company to him when it was up and running. So I
Yeah.
immediately started looking for my own thing. And with that, a friend one time had said, yeah, I think they're cleaning trash cans in Arizona. And that just baffled me. I was like, cleaning trash cans. Let me look into this. And Vegas had started rolling out those big, heavy residential wheelie bins that the
Yep.
trash company gives you. Because back in the day, we all remember, the aluminum trash cans that you kind of kept around for 5, 6 years and then you threw them away and you
Yep.
didn't worry about your trash cans. But the Republic Service here had started rolling out these trash cans, and everyone was up in arms about these things get dirty and they're big, and I have to take care of these. This is, they only pick up the trash once a week now and they start stinking. So as I looked into it, there really wasn't anyone doing it. There were some people building trucks. And one day I was like out there kind of cleaning it out because we had dirty diapers and,
Yep.
all sorts of stuff. Someone had thrown a Slurpee in my trash can. And when I was cleaning it, it was a little harder than what I expected. And that's when I said, you know what, I should probably look into this to see if it's something that could be done as a service.
It was the light bulb moment. It's like the guy who created the window washer on the front window of the car, right? Like that
Right.
that was just that aha moment. He creates it. The motor company tries to steal it. There's a whole movie about it, right? How they sue one another, and then the guy gets rich after he gets his
Oh,
invention.
that's
But
great. I gotta check that out.
yeah,
That
it's
painful moment that just turns on the right
right.
light bulb.
That's right. The painful moment. So you're figuring, man, this thing is tough. Now I got to know how much do you charge to clean out a trash can?
So the price point was like one of those conundrums because it's how much will somebody pay? And I kind of thought, I'm like, is it $4, $6, $20, 25, We were charging about $80 a month for pest control. But I'm like, I don't think anyone would pay that for a trash can. And so figuring out if the business model would work and if we could charge enough uh, it was a challenge. So when I was doing my research initially, I went through like a fun little research period because I had an income and I was like, I really don't want to go on this venture unless I think it's going to work. I did a survey. I paid like one of these sites that would survey a demographic of people for you.
Hmm.
And it came out that most people said they would pay about $20 to get their trash cans cleaned. And this was back, 9 years ago. So today we charge $25 for every 6 weeks in Las Vegas for two cans. We clean the recycling and the trash can for $25 every 6 weeks.
That seems like a good deal. I mean, I think I would pay that here.
Yeah.
I think I would pay that where I live. I mean, $25, come out, wash the cans out. I don't have to think about it. It's nice. You can keep them in the garage. They're not going to get, they're not going to smell up the garage. Yeah, this is nice. $25, two cans. And what does that take time wise? I mean, you come out with a power washer and just grenade these things, or what do you do with
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, one of the original stories of when I was starting it, I started a website and I started putting out flyers before I even had anything, just to test it, see if people would fill out the form and try to sign up, right?
Yep.
And so I put, the bubblebins.com, put the website up and put out some flyers. And before that, I'd gone through the neighborhood and just looked in everyone's trash can, right? Because I'm like, how many of these are as bad as mine? Every one of them was horrible, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, all these people are living with this. So I get some people who sign up and I start calling them and just saying, hey, we're not in your area yet. Tell me about, like, are you, is this something you do on the subscription, that sort of thing. I called one guy and he said, you know, uh, I signed up for this and I have a wedding this weekend and I have two really stinky trash cans because I have dogs. And he's like, so I'm gonna leave the $40 underneath the mat, and he thought it was $20 for two trash cans. It was actually, he thought it was 20 each. But so I said, and he's like, so when those are clean, you just grab the money. Thank you. It was nice talking to you. I hope I have clean trash cans by this weekend. And I'm like, what do
Huh.
I do? I don't actually clean these. I have his address, so I took my truck over there. I grabbed his cans. I went to the car wash and I started cleaning them out because I didn't have a pressure washer,
Yep.
and I tried to clean them with my hose. It took forever. It probably took an hour and a half with my hose, tons of water, and it just didn't get them clean. So I go to the car wash thinking I could get these done in just a few minutes. And it still took me 30, 40 minutes to get these
Wow.
trash cans cleaned. Yeah. Before I took them back to him. And that was the moment that I realized you need like real equipment that's going to that's going to have a spin head, spray head. It's going to, high pressure because the car wash pressure washer is a very high pressure, heat, that sort of stuff. Some cleaning uh, materials, some degreaser, stuff like that. So now that we have the system and we build these big custom trucks and we have a 9 gallon per minute pressure washer, the heat gets up to 200 degrees. If we show up at a new house, like a house where the trash bins haven't been cleaned for maybe uh, a year, 2 years, something like that, the initial cleaning could take us about 20 minutes. So it takes a little while. But then it's once we get that initial cleaning and we're on the subscription with them and we come to the house, those cleanings take us about 5, 6 minutes. It's a
Okay.
little bit
I
quicker.
love this. So I'm envisioning it. We got a truck, maybe an F-250 or F-150 or something like that. You're using like these butane driven heated pressure washing systems. You light that bad boy up. It gets the heat up where it needs to be. You drop that 3,500 psi or maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I don't know. But you in there, you
Yeah.
blast that thing out. And maybe it's got a little soap. You got the soap mix in with the pressure washer, I'm
We,
guessing. And then
well,
bam, you
well, we,
blast it.
yeah, we treat it with the soap a little bit before in the tough
Okay.
areas. And then the truck actually has grabber arms that lifts it up like a trash truck, right?
Oh,
And
I
it puts
love
it
this.
over, yeah, it puts it over this 360-degree spray head that, yeah, it's 3,500 psi, like it gets up to almost 200 degrees, and it just goes crazy in there. Uh, and then all the dirty water actually dumps into our dirty water storage tank, so it's not going all over the curb, the street, that sort
Water
of stuff.
reclamation system.
Water reclamation. Yep. We filter out the solids and all the trash that comes out of the bottom of your trash can because there's stuff stuck underneath there that the homeowner doesn't even want to know about. And so, and then
Okay.
once it comes down,
Huh.
it's steaming, the steam's coming off, it's pretty clean. And then we go in and kind of detail and take care of all the last little spots and grime.
All right, I'm not going to rabbit hole on you, but do you do any power washing for like retail or anything like that, or are you strictly doing garbage cans?
We're strictly doing garbage cans. That was a business decision that I made early on because I come from a power washing family. My dad, would take me at 2 a.m. down to the strip and he'd have a job where he'd be power washing a dumpster bay or the
Yep.
backside of, something and we'd do the driveway or we'd do the concrete and we'd run the concrete thing and power wash all that. And I thought, man, this could be a great coupling with power washing. But as I saw the business model, I thought we need to get a lot of these houses done in order to make money. We need to make it a smooth system. I thought, let's just stick with trash can cleaning. Let's
Ah,
become the pros, the in and out of trash can cleaning, where we offer one thing, but we do it amazing, best in the world.
All right. I love that. The niches are in the riches. I'm not going to rabbit hole on power washing, but I love that you made that decision. I think it's great to have a singular focus. The in and out of power washing. All right. Does anybody else do this? Are you the only one, or if I Google this, am I going to find 10 companies that do this thing?
It's starting to become more popular.
Okay.
You know, when we started this, there was one or two power washers who had started to take on trash can cleaning as an additional service that they offered. And then we kind of pioneered the industry in making it, just a trash can cleaning company that scales up and offers great service and a system for this uh, residential residual subscription trash can cleaning.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I think
now,
it's incredible.
yeah, now if you Google it, in some of the cities, there's a handful of companies here or there giving it a try.
Okay. So you're on the journey. You've been doing this 9 years, right?
Yep.
9 years. How many homes do you service?
Right now, across all of our locations, we have subscriptions for over 35,000 customers. In Las Vegas, we service roughly 25,000 customers.
Okay. So you said 25,000 in Vegas?
Yep.
All right. So you have multiple locations. Is this franchised, or is this just your locations that you're opening and growing across geographical regions?
It's both. About 3 years ago, we started taking on franchisees. There were a few people pounding at my door wanting to open it in their area. And I saw the opportunity for scaling the company a little faster, and mostly the opportunity for providing these systems that we built that took a long time, a lot of effort, a lot of trial and error, and hand it over to an entrepreneur so they can just get in the race car and start racing from day one instead of having to go back and build the whole race team and,
That's
and
right.
logistics of everything.
You built the box, just follow the system and don't, in a very nice way, F it up.
Yeah, just get in the car and race.
That's right.
It's
That's
like,
right. Don't
like
screw
Jeff
around.
Gordon. Yeah, Jeff Gordon doesn't need to worry about all the logistics of where they're sourcing tires and how they're getting to the raceway. He just needs to get in the car and drive.
That's right. Don't start pressure washing Walmarts. Just keep this thing moving. Keep the wheels on this thing the right way. Okay, how many
100%.
franchises are in the system?
We have 3 franchises. We have Orlando, Florida, Tampa, Florida, and Austin, Texas.
Okay, and so these are far away from you.
They are pretty far, yeah.
Okay,
But they're hot areas and they've got stinky trash cans. And
yeah,
that's pretty
hot
much all we
areas,
need.
stinky trash cans. I love it. How long has the oldest franchise been in the system?
Oldest franchise has been with us for 2.5 years now.
All right, that's good. So they got some traction. They're successful. They're growing their business. That's cool. So as you build a franchise, what are the franchise fees?
Right now, for a franchise area, it is $40,000 for the initial franchise.
Okay. So my investment is $40,000 and my royalties are
40,000. The royalties are 9% royalty plus 2.5% technology fee and 2.5% customer service fee with a 1% brand fee. And the model that we have is really a model for allowing them to not have to worry about almost anything on the customer service side, not having to open an office, hire a secretary, anything like that. We take all of the customer service calls. We've built out an extensive technology stack from the website where the customer goes and signs up, all the way to the CMS system and custom software that is specifically for trash can cleaning and operating this business in the most efficient way. One of the biggest challenges we had was, you could imagine there's a lot of service softwares out there. And we'd use them for pest control. As I got into the bin cleaning and realized that at our price point and the model that we need to have, you have to have a high volume of subscriptions where you're running 50 stops a day, 40 to 70 stops a day. And in order to do that, your technology has to be extremely streamlined. And once it's all said and done, when you're servicing, 1,000 customers, you can't be going at through an individually invoicing and rescheduling your routes every day, that sort of thing. So that's when I ventured out in 2019 to build software specifically for this. And the software stack that we have built is one of the greatest hacks and opportunities for success in this industry. That it turned the corner for us, genuinely. Everything from being able to algorithmically estimate when the trash is picked up so we could go clean the bins when they're empty, to tracking our drivers' performance and their effectiveness, and being able to bonus them or pay them off of their effectiveness. So we see everything from their driver safety score all the way to the customer feedback in the end, how many cleanings they get per hour, how quick they are, how long they're on site, that sort of stuff.
I love it. I love it. I love that you put this. I love that you turn this into a franchise. Getting that first one is always the hardest thing, but you'll get to 1 to 10, and then the next biggest goal is 10 to 100, right? The thing's just going to fall like dominoes.
And another part of that model that we're excited about rolling out is micro franchise opportunities, because those are all for, the main franchise opportunity where they come in and they purchase a truck from us, which is roughly $140,000 to $150,000. It's a decent initial investment to get the area rolling. But we saw the opportunity for smaller towns or some of maybe the areas like up in Seattle where the climate's not as hot, but somebody might want to start a business and run it alongside of what they're currently doing for work, or start a little bit slower, and it might be an area that doesn't produce as many customers. We're starting like a micro franchise opportunity where we don't have it fully released yet, but it's going to be a significantly smaller investment for the franchise fee, and they're going to be able to start with a trailer instead of a truck, where that's also going to be a less investment in order to get into it. And they'll be able to hook this trailer up to their truck, park it on the side of their house, go out about 3 p.m., 4 p.m., do their cleanings while they build up their customer base and kind of transition to that truck and a more robust customer base a little bit slower, something a little more sustainable for somebody who's kind of trying to get that chicken and put it next to him that puts out a few eggs.
Yep, you're making an easier point of entry. Okay, I guess I could look up the item 19. But what is all-in cost roughly? I know that it's going to vary based on multiple factors. But if I look at the item 19 and I'm buying a franchise, what's my all-in cost?
All-in cost, a lot of it is going to depend on how much marketing you put into it and everything from that aspect. But I would, most people, we want them to have $200,000 put together in order to start the full-size franchise and get that running quickly and safely, plus or minus $50,000.
Okay, cool. 200 grand. And how much has to be in savings? They got to have a year in savings, 6 months in savings. What do they got to do?
About a year in savings.
About a year in savings. All right. So we got a year in savings, $200,000 investment. If I look at, do you publish the numbers for Orlando and Tampa in your item 19, or are those excluded currently?
We do. We're getting ready to release the most recent FDD. They weren't published before in our previous FDD, but that'll be out in probably about a month, and we'll publish those.
Okay.
In the last one, we did publish Vegas. Vegas is grossing over $4 million a year.
Wow. Incredible. Congratulations on all the success. I love that you franchised it. And, this is just some thought. I don't know. This is a podcast about you, but I'm just going to share this. In my mind, in franchising, there's some strict rules that I really believe are important. And we can talk about them if you want, or we can pass over, but no partners, never partners. I'm never a fan of a partnership because they break. No outside investors. And, like people who are going to run the business, but then hire somebody to run it. Like there's some very, very, I think, strict things that happen in a service-based business that prevent a lot of pain down the road, right? Because, two partners get in, they decide they're going to start the business, they pay the franchise fee, they get in a fight and they quit. gone, right?
Right.
Franchise off the
Yeah.
table, or it falls apart, right? Outside
Yeah.
investors, people who want to invest in the business, but they don't want to run it. If they don't
Right.
want to run it and they're outside investing it, they don't put the effort in, they don't put the energy in, they put the initial capital and then think it's going to make them a millionaire. And then all of a sudden they disappear off the table and you've got a closed franchise. And closed franchises are the worst thing for franchising, right? So, you've
Right.
got some amazing territories, right? Texas is awesome. I would guess
Yeah.
everybody in the South, right? You've got basically the whole southern seaboard, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, all of that, California,
Yep.
parts of New Mexico, Arizona. You've got this whole swath where it's really hot and really stinky, right? Is that
Yep.
kind of what you're looking at?
Those are definitely, the primary target markets. But we've also seen other trash can companies move into areas up north like Idaho and Denver and Michigan, where they're able to also create these successful businesses. And in the wintertime, they might have to close down for a couple weeks here or there because of snow. But for the most part, a lot of those places have moisture and they start to get mildew in the cans, that sort of thing. So they might not have as many maggots as we have down in, South Florida or somewhere like that, but they do have situations where people need the trash can clean. So that's really why we started looking into the micro franchise opportunity, because there's still opportunity for growth there and people to start this type of business.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I love that you're building a franchise and, be super picky with who you pick, right? I think that is so
Yeah.
important, being so picky. Never take a deal just to take a deal. Make these
Right.
people jump through all the hoops. They've got to
Yep.
be invested. I mean, franchising is just, it can be the greatest thing in the world, or it can be, a tough thing. I think
Yeah.
one of the things that I learned, there's a guy who owns a 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Brian Scudamore, right? And,
Yep.
as he's building 1-800-GOT-JUNK, my business coach, Jack Daly, who I work with, was Brian's business coach, and he
Oh,
helped
nice.
Brian build his business.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Jack went up to Canada for weeks because, they were struggling with the business and they could barely get it going. And Jack's in the truck, in the junk truck, right? And they're traveling around figuring out, and they're working on systems. But one of the most interesting things I think I learned was that, in the beginning, if you bought a junk franchise, you got a massive territory. And then
Yeah.
basically what happened was they cut that in half. And then they cut it
Uh-huh.
down to a quarter. So like you buy a franchise now and it's an eighth of what it was in the beginning, right? So they really drove that down. So when you're looking at the territories and you're building this thing out, is your goal to continue, your organization, or is your goal to just continue franchising and putting as many franchises into the system as possible? And if you have a goal, how many franchises do you see at the end of the tunnel?
So, originally as I started to build this, I thought, hey, if we could build this as corporate locations and go grab up all these locations, have a bunch of, locations that have the Vegas style success, this will be great. But I have also always been somebody who methodically goes through this, right? Like before I started doing, before I quit doing valet and jumped straight into real estate, I was already making a bunch more money in real estate. And then I finally quit valet. I've taken those lily pads,
Yep.
where I take it, even bubble bins, it was clear that it was the thing, but I kind of kept doing real estate. And so as I've methodically approached this, I want to learn the mistakes and make sure that we're on solid ground before we move forward to the next state, right? And I went out and I opened Phoenix as a corporate location, and I opened St. George as a corporate location. Let those run for about 3 years. And as we started to slowly franchise and take on these franchise opportunities for people, uh, and I realized that it is really hard to run these businesses from afar.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't run as well as what a founder or an owner of the company would be able to run right there in the spot. And it's like you said, there's a lot of people who come and they approach us, hey, I just want to invest, hire people to start up this business.
Yep.
And we've learned that it's best to have somebody who wants to be there in the grit and get the business running firsthand, especially because like I said, if this is an F1 race team, we've built the team, we've built all the systems, we built the race car. Let's put somebody in it who wants to drive it
Yeah.
and get out there on the track, because all of that hard work has been done. So we have a package to give them. So the goal is to give it to people who genuinely want to get in and drive. They say, I want to be an entrepreneur. I have been wanting to start something, but I want to do it myself. I want to get out there and do it myself. And so as we've learned, I've transitioned the mindset and the goal to go away from more corporate building and more towards letting people who are ambitious, ready to go, become entrepreneurs and empower them to grow the franchise. And so we have, white space across the country for adding in 150, 200 franchise units of the main units, and probably 500 to 700 of the micro franchise units. So there's a lot of runway for us to start expanding, and we're going to be pushing heavily on the franchise side of things more than the corporate growth.
Hmm. I love it. I think that's a great plan. I didn't hear in the fees do you do a national advertising fee, or will that come later?
We do. There's a 1% brand fund fee.
1% brand fund. So basically, by the time I buy a franchise, I'm at 15.5%, but you're really taking care of everything. All I need to do is just park my truck on the side of my house, set this thing up, dump my money into my advertising, my marketing. Maybe it's through Yelp. Maybe it's through Google AdWords. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing
Yep.
flyers at the door. Who knows? But I'm doing something to grab these people and get them in the door. And that's okay. That's really, really interesting. All right. Do you mind if I ask you a few more questions about this?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. What is the average lead cost? Do you know?
The average lead cost, it varies by different areas. Uh, and with Facebook tightening up their advertising, everyone's feeling that squeeze. Everyone
Mm.
who has started a business. I was listening to another podcast where the gentleman was a private equity investor. They'd invested in brand new startups, and he said we had 30 startups in 2021, and by 2023 all of them went out of business because of the changes from Facebook and social media marketing and stuff like that.
Mm.
And we saw our lead cost go from something like, $15-20 or per conversion, all the way up to a variable of, $50 to $150 per conversion. And so we really focus on alternative marketing methods now and researching that for our franchisees, whether it's community events, flyering, getting out there, and just even door knocking and door-to-door sales.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a big variable there. It all depends on what the franchisee or the manager wants to take on. If they want to go heavy on digital marketing, it's going to be one thing, and if they want to go, a little bit more boots on the ground, it's going to be a lot more affordable. It all depends, but usually conversions can be had between anywhere from $25 up to $120 to $150 if they're working at it. But one thing that we have found, and one thing that we definitely preach, is the fact that in the beginning you're laying a foundation of your customers, and that's probably the challenging thing about a service company, because you need to get your first subscription customers in order to get that foundation and start covering your expenses. But the great part of it is once you're, 8 months in, a year in, and you get past your break-even point, you start to all those additional subscription customers, it's automatic income. It's stuff that you don't have to go out there and hunt and kill anymore. It's the chicken that's just laying the eggs. So there's also a strong referral base that comes once you build your base customer set. So, your first 300 customers, 500 customers are the hardest to get because they've never heard the service. They don't know your name. But once you get over 500, 800 customers, you start to see a lot of referrals or neighbors signing up that are essentially customers you don't pay anything for, because it's just, if you do a good job, the business starts to grow organically.
I love it. All right. What's the average close rate? What, like, you go meet a customer, you close in 1 out of 3, 2 out of 4. What do you close?
Well, that's the beauty about this, is we very rarely actually have to close a customer on the doorstep or out in person. When I started this, I envisioned it as like the Netflix for home services, and like with pest control, plumbing, electrical, they all want to say, okay, we'll come out, we'll do an estimate, we'll do an inspection, that sort of thing. we want it to be an online conversion. We want it to be where somebody goes to your website, they learn about it, they commit on the
I love
website,
that. They're just
punch in their
buying like
credit
that.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the
So
conversion's super high.
yeah, so it's all about the, getting the eyes to the website and getting them to convert, putting out flyers, and you might get one, two, three, five signups from the flyers you put out, but you don't actually have to answer the phone very often. Our customer service team does that. They answer the phone and they'll sign them up right there. But most of our customers sign up directly through the website, punch in their credit card. The new job comes through, the customer service schedules it for you. So our franchisees will wake up and they'll see 10, 15 new jobs on their list that got converted overnight or got,
Wow.
converted
Super cool.
from, yep, all the other stuff. So it really is, when I say like get in the race car and race, we've got the other stuff handled, and
Yeah.
we've got that running, we got the sophisticated marketing, retargeting, all the things that, I mean, today starting a business is very technical. There's a lot of people who are advanced in those marketing techniques, and that's the value of a franchise or like a hive mind, where we can take all of that information and run a high level marketing team, a high level customer service team, all the technology of the conversions, while Mike, the guy who is a firefighter but wants some extra work on the side, just wakes up, gets on the iPad, sees the jobs come in, and gets out there and services them.
Yeah, I love it, man. I mean, I want to go down and buy Orange California, man. I mean,
Hey, that'd be a great market.
I mean, yeah, it's a phenomenal market, right? Pay some weather tax, clean some trash cans, make a bunch of money. Like, I think it's fantastic. All right, I got another question for you. And not that this turned into a franchising call, but we kind of went down a franchising path. But that's
Yeah,
but it's
we
kind of
did.
cool because you have an incredible system. I mean, out of all of the systems that I've seen, I mean, you have something special here. I mean, you really
Oh,
have
thank you.
a special system in your franchise. I really love what you've built. Now let me just ask you this question. Let's say that I want this. Let's say I want to be a franchisee and I'm in Houston, Texas. Now, Houston is a big market, 11 million people, 9 million registered. They say 2 million illegal. I'm not getting into that, but that's what they say is down there. And so I go into that market. Now, maybe I look at an area like Katy or something like that that's, kind of a Houston suburb. And I go into these homeowners associations, and this is where my mind went with this thing, and I might be completely off track, but there's so many homeowners associations where there is 10,000 plus homes in an association, right? Like that's not unheard of. And when we look
Right.
at states that have the most homeowners associations in the United States, I believe the last time I looked, there was 56,000 homeowners associations in the great state of Texas, and I think there was close to 60,000 in Florida. I may have that reversed, so I apologize if
Yeah.
the number is off. But if I'm a franchisee and I'm taking this thing in and I know that it's $25 every 2 trash cans, why don't I go and pitch the homeowners association and say, look, it guys, this is an epidemic across the board. We're battling, bringing up the trash cans, blah, 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 blah. I want all 10,000 in the association. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to discount it to $15 every 6 weeks for 2 trash cans, but everybody puts them out. Or, what is trash day? Because right after trash day, we're coming in the afternoon and we're going to bang out all 10,000 homes in the HOA, and the HOA is going to pay the fee every single month, and it's just going to be a part of their dues. They don't even have to think about it. We're going to solve these pest issues. We're going to solve these smell issues. We're going to bring your trash can up at the end of the day. We're going to put our little, bubble Binz air freshener on the thing, whatever.
Yep.
What is the thought to that? Has that been broached? Have you thought through that? Any?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we definitely in Vegas, we service a couple HOAs that we work with and go every 3 months and do it at a discounted rate. The community members of that HOA love it. I've had multiple when I've met people who are in that HOA. They're like, "Oh, you do our whole HOA." We love that the HOA does that. And I know in the past the HOA management has said, maybe we could cut this expense. And then the homeowners go back to them like, that's the greatest part that you provide for us. That's the best
Right.
part of it. So we've done that. We've done HOAs where Christmas time comes around, they have a little money in the budget. They call us, they say, hey, let's do one-time cleaning for everybody. And
Hmm.
so we'll go in with 3, 4 trucks and crank out a one-time cleaning for everybody in the HOA during the day. It's been a great part of the business model, and that's definitely something that as franchisees, if that's what they want to tackle and go out and talk to the management companies, they can go after them and sign that up, and it's a great revenue source.
Yeah, I think I just was thinking those big areas like Florida, man. I mean, Texas, where the HOAs are, they're like cities, right? I mean, these
Yep,
things are really like cities, and the budgets are multi-million dollar budgets, right? And
absolutely.
it just becomes a rounding error to keep things looking fresh and tight and nice. Listen, I absolutely love what you have built, man. So let's say I'm a prospective franchisee. I want to come on in. You guys do a meet the team day and you're going to evaluate me and all that. Did you have that built into the program?
Yep. Yeah. Generally, the people will go on the bubblebinsfranchise.com and fill out the form, and then we'll vet them and send them some qualification things that they have to get to us. And then we'll go through and I'll sit down with them in a meeting, kind of explain some of the franchise opportunity, that sort of stuff with them. And once they come on board and start the process, then we'll sit down and we have a whole team that will help stand up their business with them, give them advice on things they could do preemptively before their truck's ready. We'll start building the truck right away and they'll hit the ground running.
Man, I love it. You are just something special. You have really put together a great program. I love how you're doing all the
Thank you. I
customer
appreciate it.
service. I love how you're taking all the calls, booking them. I love how I can wake up, go to bed, and all of a sudden I got 5 new jobs, 10 new jobs, 15 new jobs the next morning. I mean, it's you've really done a great job, and I love the how the truck has the arms and the power washing system. This has been an incredible show, man. So I gotta know, like, you're putting all this together and you're building this franchise and you're running your own unit down there, 25,000 doors. As an entrepreneur, there must be something that's next. Is there anything that's on the horizon that you're kind of thinking of, or is it just focused on building the franchise right now?
It's that's the battle I fight every day is every new idea that comes in my mind and every gadget that I want to build comes in my mind and I start working on it and then I have to tell myself, "Oh, go back to the thing that you're building and focus on that," and keep going. And so right now, it's just building out this company. But what franchising and the challenge that I take on with this company has allowed me to do is venture into all these other spaces. It's like I said in 2019, I started staying up until 2 a.m. so I could meet with India to go over the software and build the software that we built out. And
Yeah.
we've invested, about $1 million into the software over time to build new features and functions and create one of the most robust, streamlined softwares for the industry. That was something that was super exciting and scratched that itch of being an entrepreneur and wanting to create something new. And then I ventured out and we started building trucks because some of the other manufacturers, I didn't love the model of truck that they built, and I knew that we could build something better. So we opened a fabrication shop, started building our own custom trash cleaning trucks, and those are the trucks that we put on the road. We've built 25 of those trucks now, and we'll continue to build those for the franchisees. And so engineering that and building out that part of the business that can help support. And now we have this like in-house support for the mechanical stuff, for all the issues, any parts and
Wow.
supplies that they need. They can just reach out directly to us. And I do truly believe that we build the best trucks in the industry, and we're always adding to those and making those a little bit better. And this next part is the trailers and the micro franchise opportunity as well. That's something we're excited about getting out there.
I love it, man. So that's pretty cool. So if so you do upfit work. I mean, that's basically what you're doing. You're taking,
Yeah.
what is this? Is this what is this on? Is this an F350, an F550, a 250? What is the chassis on?
Usually Isuzu NPR,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
one of the flat front
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
box
yeah, yeah.
trucks.
I
Yeah.
love the Suzu NPR.
Yeah.
That's a great landscape truck, right? So it just comes with the
Yeah.
cabin chassis. You flip it over, bam, bam, bam. Then you put the bed on it, right? Solid steel. You're putting the deal on. You got
Yep.
the forks to pick it up. Okay, that's awesome. So I love those trucks. The little four banger engines in them, right? So they get great
Yeah.
gas mileage.
Uh,
They turn on a dime.
well, they have actually like Chevy 350 V8s in them.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because they are pulling about 14,000 pounds of weight, but they do turn on a dime. I mean, we had some Rams and some other trucks in our fleet before, and we just realized that you get in that NPR and you have the huge windshield. You could see right in front of you if a kid's ball rolls out in the street or something, and then they flip U-turns in the neighborhoods in a beautiful
Yeah,
way,
they're
even being
incredible.
14 foot long. So they've been the best trucks for us. They're easy to work on. You just flip the cab over, the whole engine's right there in front of you if you have issues. But yeah, they've been great.
Yeah, I love the NPRs. Are these the dual cab or just the single cab units?
Just single cab, just because we run one driver in there and he's the technician that cleans it. So there's not really a crew that needs to tag along.
Nice. Are we going diesel or gas?
We've done both. We prefer gasoline now, mostly because the initial cost is more affordable. The diesels don't do great with the start stop. You know, you're starting and stopping sometimes 5 times on a street because you have these customers, you know, and that's the goal, to get
Mm.
dense with your customers. So the gasoline does a lot better with that. It's a little more affordable up front, and the cost of working on the gasoline truck is more affordable as well. A lot more shops will take it in and work on it and do repairs, opposed to the diesel one. You've got to find specific trucks, so that
Mm.
there are specific shops that'll work on that. So we heavily push towards gasoline. But if somebody wanted to get one with a diesel, we could do that as well.
My thought is only this, and this is why I like the diesel. When I used to own the gas units, I ended up going away from the gas over time, not because everything you said is 100% true, and I
Yeah.
believe in all of that. But what we found was that the gas, when a guy had a load on the truck, when he
Uh-huh.
has a load on the truck, the gas, when you put your foot on that pedal in that NPR, even if it's fully loaded, vroom, that thing will go, right? Like in F1,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
that thing's got some juice and some power to it. And what we found was when it was loaded, these guys would they would be gunning the gas and they would blow the
Yep.
transmission. And so
Oh yeah.
we
Yeah.
would go
I could see
through,
that.
each truck would go through 2 to 3 transmissions. And so
Yep.
like we'd have, and they'd be covered under, we would buy them from Ford, right? So Ford sold the Isuzu and we'd have that kind of,
Yeah.
deal there. But what we found was that we'd spend so much downtime with the truck because of the transition that we went to diesel because it didn't allow you to gun it. It just
Didn't
started
accelerate
slow,
the
grew
same.
slow,
Yep.
and so we could keep the truck for long. Anyways, not that matters to anybody, but that's just my little 2 cents on it. And
We also have seen, issues where the guys, they feel like it's an F1 truck, because you're right, it does accelerate. It's got some good juice, and they'll just punch it. The best thing that we did was we put we tied our system into a system called Geotab that tracks all of the telemetrics of the truck, the
Yep.
location, the driving habits, the harsh cornering, harsh braking. So our software actually taps into that, registers the driver that's driving that truck with that system, and we get back a driving score for each driver. So it
I
shows,
love it.
hey, Jacob is harsh accelerating this much percentage of the time. He's harsh cornering. His driving score is a 75 out of 100. He's getting a C plus. Let's get him up to a 90%. Once we did that, and the actual drivers can see it on their iPad, they see their score. It's like 75%. They're in the red. They know, hey, I've got to clean this up a little bit. So now we've got most of them feathering that throttle a little bit better so they could get a better driving score, and most of them in the 90%, which has been amazing to have that tracking and that accountability.
Man, I love it. The system gets better and better as we talk about it. I mean, you've literally gone through and you've solved pretty much every problem that happens. I mean, just incredible. You're a smart guy, man. Just really a privilege
Hey,
to
thank you. I
talk to you
appreciate
today.
it.
What an incredible franchise you built. All right, so someone's out there, they're listening to the show, and how do they get in touch with you about the franchise? How does that happen?
There's a couple ways. They could go to bubblebinsfranchise.com, or they could just call Bubble Bins, look us up on Google, call us, reach out to us on social media, shoot us an email at service@bubblebins.com. Any of those ways, our team is on top of it. They will get with you, get you the information that you need.
Man, that's awesome. All right. Social media. Are you on social media? Are you on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook? Are you out there hanging out where people can follow you, see what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Ethan Hardinger. Our Bubble Bins is at Bubble Bins. That's probably the main one that I'm on there. I'm also on LinkedIn somewhere
Yeah.
at Ethan Hardinger as well.
Somewhere
I
you're
don't get on
floating
there
around. You
very
got a
often,
picture
but
and a quick
I'm floating
bio,
around.
but it's not an everyday agenda.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome, man. All right. We're bringing this thing in for a landing. For any entrepreneur out there that's not in franchising, or they're in franchising, whether they're doing fruit smoothies or Bubble Bins or landscaping, or they own a Marriott hotel, for any entrepreneur out there who's really considering a business, what lessons have you learned about consistency, systems, customer experience that you wish you knew earlier, just to help the audience with one tip or two tips that you could share with them that can help them build a better business? What would that be?
I think that I definitely love the service industry, and I think it's an amazing opportunity for people to get in and build a business that is providing them a sense of security, residual income, or reoccurring income for that. I would say that the biggest challenge now with some of these social media sites charging so much for advertising, and a lot of the old traditional media sites no longer being effective, is gaining those customers and keeping those customers. And what we learned early on was that if you give phenomenal service, and I'm talking like sometimes the customer would sign up at 3 p.m. and my manager that was just amazing and all in would say, "Hey, we'll make sure we get a guy there tonight," and their cans would be clean by 5 p.m. Then they would go on social media and Google and they would post and they would say, "I cannot believe what just happened. I just went to this website." So I think that it's more important today than ever to focus on that customer experience and be different. Give them a more personable experience and something that is different than what everyone else is offering. Now you gain somebody who's an advocate for your business. They are a microphone, they have a voice, and they'll help share that business. I think that's probably one of the only ways to succeed right now in a service company, is to stand out with your customer service and the relationship that you build with your customer.
Man, I love that. You are just on point. That is just absolutely spot on. All right, my friend, last question of the day. We're bringing this thing in for a landing. We got a big billboard on the side of the road, big whiteboard. You can put any phrase, any word, any sentence that you want. What do you want to share with the world?
I think if I were to throw it up on the whiteboard, put it up on the billboard, I would say that obviously today with AI and a lot of the things that are getting mixed up, there's a lot of people out there who are a little bit afraid about the security of their job, about where they're going to be making their money. I would cry to the world to get out there and start building that chicken for yourself, finding that chicken that's going to put out the eggs, because this job security just isn't what it used to be. There's going to be companies doing layoffs, and we're already seeing a lot of transitions. And I would say start taking some of that and investing in yourself, investing in your education by jumping on AI, learning the skills that these tools can have, and planning for your future by securing other revenue streams to navigate through some of the rocky transition the world's going to go through over the next few months and few years.
I love that. Build your chicken.
Build your chicken.
I love it.
Grow
man.
your chicken. Build it. I don't know
Build
if you
your
build a chicken or
chicken,
grow
grow
it,
your
but
chicken, feed
nurture
your
the
chicken, and then at some point cook that chicken, right?
Yeah, well, cook the eggs. Cook the eggs.
That's right. Cook the
Don't
eggs.
cook the
Cook the
chicken
eggs.
yet.
All right, let the chicken keep producing. Don't cook it. Wait till it gets a little bit old. That's right, man. That's right. I'm a believer. You got me there. All right, this has been absolutely an incredible show. Ethan Hardinger from Real Estate Monster, hanging out with boxing guys and all sorts of luxury real estate, to saying, hey man, I gotta get my chicken, I gotta get this mailbox money, creates a franchise, builds a system, 35,000 customers in the portfolio, 25,000 in Las Vegas, franchises in Orlando, Tampa, Austin, out there selling, building, growing, just an incredible business opportunity, an incredible franchise system. If you're out there and you're thinking about what's next, if you're thinking, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? Give this thing a shot, man. Take a look at it. It just sounds absolutely incredible. I love the idea of cleaning trash cans and putting money in the bank at the same time. I love the trucks. I love the systems. I love the IT stack. I love everything that you put in it. It's been an honor to hang out with you this morning. This has been the Entrepreneurial Journey. I'm your host, Dave Westcott, back 9:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every single Tuesday. If you like the show, give us a like, give us a share, drop your comments into the comment box. Ethan, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been absolutely incredible to hang out with you for the last hour.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
Every CEO's journey has its Everest. The moments when the path forward feels steep, uncertain, and alone. With Sherpa CEO coaching, you don't climb alone. Our experienced coaches are your guides, helping you break through barriers, sharpen your strategy, strengthen your leadership, and build a team that can carry you higher. With tailored one-on-one coaching, strategic planning, and real accountability, your summit is within reach. Sherpa CEO Coaching, your guide to confidence, clarity, and extraordinary business growth. Get coached and learn more at sherpaceo.com.